people in the YouTube world. You already know what it is. It's your boy B. I'm right back up at you guys with another video. And today we live, my people. Today we live. We're going to be talking about a few things. The first thing we're going to be speaking about is health. We're going to speak about health. After that health stuff, we're going to get into a little bit about the Adnan Saeed case and Jay's testimony and what it got me into thinking about. And that's going to lead into serial killers. After the serial killer stuff, we're going to talk about toxic signs in the woman, man. And after that, we're going to be out, man. We're going to be out. But today is still eventful. I'm tired, man. I've been out since early in the morning. Been doing a lot this week. Taking a big toll on my body, man. And I'm tired. But it ain't over yet, my people, because we got one more event that we got to do. And that is a tree lighting event that we have over here in Uniondale, New York. Over there on Uniondale Avenue at Uniondale Park. Y'all cats know what I do with the community. I help out the Uniondale Resource Committee. And I'm their cameraman. So I'm gonna film that event live a little bit later on tonight. It's probably gonna be freezing, but they're gonna have a bunch of people out there tonight, my people. We're gonna have some senators. There's gonna be a bunch of people out there doing their thing. So y'all come back on live later on, like around 6:30. It's definitely going to be official, my people. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I'm kind of tired, man. Tired. You know, my energy is running low. And yesterday we had started a live. I had to leave up out of here real quick. And I was going to tell you guys about my pancreatitis because honestly, I've been having a lot of flare-ups this week. And if y'all know about pancreatitis, man, that's one of them things that hurt. Pancreatitis is not fun. It's one of those things that is different, right? It can be dull. And those are the worst ones when it's dull. And it's always in the background, always tinkering in the background, playing with you up. My boy Mott, he said, when you said Uniondale, I thought you were talking about the trees across from the Coliseum. Nah, not over there, Mott, not over there. I'm talking about the village of Uniondale. The tree that they lighting by Uniondale Park. I'm gonna be out there tonight. So yeah, so that's the first thing with the pancreas. It's dull. That pain is dull. And it's always in the background. And it's one of those things that just beat you up, man, and it make you cranky. Then you have another side of the pancreatitis. And this is the pancreatitis that'll put you to your knees, my people. Because everything that you eat, every single thing that you eat, your pancreas acts on. And it secretes those juices. And sometimes that acid, it can attack itself. And that's when it really burns. And I'm telling you, it'll make a grown man cry. Them pains will make a grown man cry. It's no fun, people. It's definitely no fun. And when that happens, man, you don't want to do anything. Your energy is low. You don't eat. You start to lose weight. And it beats you down. Slowly but surely beats you down. And that got me to thinking about health, man. And I'm like, listen, you got the best intentions in the world. But if your health ain't right, and if you're not feeling right, it's not gonna be much you could do about it. So, you may be young right now. You may not think that you're gonna get old. You may not think that death is real. But I'm gonna tell you, as you start getting older, them days get closer and closer and closer. And the craziest thing about getting older is that the time appears to pass by faster than when you're younger. You know, I think on my 40th birthday, I started thinking, I'm like, damn, technically I'm halfway there at 40. So I was thinking about that type of stuff, man. And again, take care of your health because you can have the best wishes in the world. But if you're not feeling right, it's going to be a wrap for you, my people. It's going to be a wrap for you. And again, you're not going to be young more than you are for longer than you're going to be older. So take care of that body now, man. Take care of that body. you know? So we're gonna switch and transition over to what I was telling y'all about the Adnan Syed case. I might be saying his name incorrectly. Now, we're gonna get back into it because this got me into thinking something else, man. So if y'all don't know, one of the first big podcasts was around the Adnan Syed and the Hae Ming case. And that case took me because, like, that was my first time really starting to listen to podcasts. Of course, I was listening to my man, Angry Jack. What was my man's name? Damn, he passed away, and I'm disrespecting the hip-hop community. And that was the first podcast that I really, the Combat Jack Show, yeah. So I've started listening to podcasts with the Combat Jack Show. Shout out and rest in peace to Combat Jack. But I started watching Serial about Adnan Syed. And one of the things that always caught me, what up, they saying hi on the check-in. Who that? Nikki Yard. I can't read all that while I'm walking, man. We're going to get into it. But thank y'all for checking in. Everybody hit that like button. So, yeah, that Adnan Syed case. And it's interesting, man. It was really a case that caught my mind. And it still catches my mind because it's like it's a mystery. And I deal with like telephone pings or vehicle pings at work. And they started getting into the pings and all the evidence that got into the case. And one of the things that always bothered me was Jay's testimony. Now, Jay had a whole nother story, but I'm speeding. Let me go back down. So Adnan Syed was a guy who went to school in Maryland, right? And he had a girlfriend. And him and his girlfriend broke up. And he had a cell phone, man. Bought a cell phone the day before. Jay, who, I'm going to get into it, man. But basically, his girlfriend came up missing. And what happened is that they usually spend the day together, like after school. And Hae Ming, after school, she would normally go pick up her cousin. But when she didn't go pick up her cousin, people knew something was wrong. And later, they found her body, and somebody who was involved in the case, Jay, he said that her ex-boyfriend did it. And they started looking into it, and they found out that Adnan and the girl had broken up. And on the day that she went missing, somebody said he killed her. You was with him. You stupid. So yeah, so they was talking about it, right? And he snitched on him. He basically said, yo, I didn't kill her, but I helped them bury the body. And it was just a whole bunch of stuff going on. You had one of his friends that started one of his sister's friends who started the podcast. And this got everybody into it, man, you know? So again, one of the things that always got to me was Jay, you know, and the fact that he kept switching up his story. However, the first story that he told one of his best friends stuck because they lined up the telephone pings and they found out that it made sense. So, you know, they was going on for that. But I was thinking, of course, you know, Jay wasn't the most savory character, but at the same time, he said he was kind of scared of Adnan because Adnan threatened him or threatened his girlfriend and said, I did this to her, I could do this to you. He said he was talking about all these gangster rappers, how they not really gangsters because they never killed anyone, and he did it with his bare hands. So I was thinking about that, man, and it got me thinking about Jay again. So Jay, if he was threatened, right? If he was threatened, how would that look? And how would that look for anybody, you know? Because a lot of times we walk around this earth thinking that nobody is looking at us, man, you know? And there was another case that I was reading about. And this cat, they literally caught him in my lifetime. And I read a book about him prior to them catching him. And I'm talking about the original Night Stalker. The original Night Stalker, not Richard Ramirez. I know y'all know about Richard Ramirez. I know y'all know about Richard Ramirez, but I'm talking about the original Night Stalker. Now, this cat was on some different stuff, the original Night Stalker. This dude had 3 different names when he was doing 3 different things. And you can see his progression as a criminal. So the first thing he was doing, how y'all doing? So the first thing he was doing was just being a pervert. He'll break into people's houses, rearrange things. It was sick. He said, did he have a room? Did he have room 40s? What you say? Yeah. So this dude, he had 3 different names, and to represent the 3 different times of his crime career. So the first thing he was doing was just being a pervert, yo. He'll break into your house. He'll open a drawer, take your underwear, leave like a line from your dresser drawer all the way to your front door. Take stuff, rearrange stuff around your house. He was just a menace like that, the original Night Stalker. Then he went from that to raping people. So he started raping people now. So now he would break into your house, right? And he was on some sick stuff because he would break into the crib with the husband and the wife there. The husband and the wife there. But he had so much patience and so much time. Now he would just wait in your bushes. He had a military background. So he would wait in your bushes. He'll see like everything that you did throughout the day. And he'll look at your routine. And he was one of those people that would hide your gun. Like, say you had a gun in your house. He'll break into your crib, hide the gun, yo. Hide your guns that you think you had in the crib. Another thing he would do is leave, like, ropes and stuff like that in people's houses. So that, he was basically streaming it for them, like setting up their own houses against them. It was crazy. But he said, I wonder what you look like to innocent bystanders when you're walking and talking to chat. It don't matter how I look to outsiders, man. You feel me? I'm the outlier. I look like the outlier. That's why I'm the outlier, you dig? So yeah. So, he was on some other stuff. So he was doing the rapes. And then he switched from rape to murder now. And it was the same thing. He'll come into your crib, he'll shoot you. He'll come in, eat cereal in your house. He would tie up the husband, put like plates and things like that on his back and tell him like, if I hear it move, then I'm shooting all of y'all. He was like a true menace, man. A true menace. And I read a book on serial killers, right? And the book was just basically explaining, man, you got to do things differently. We think nothing can happen to us, but in actuality, it can. That's why I take a different route to work every single day. This week, I started leaving at different times. I leave work at different times. I go out of different exits, out of different buildings, because you never know who's out there watching, man. BTK was another one that would do these things. The serial killers that get away with it the most, they are the people that sit back and they look and they just stalk you. And it's crazy, man, because we make it easy for people. Leaving at the same time every single day, going the same route. You got to switch that stuff up, people, because these are the things that these crooks out here looking for. And I know it's a small percentage of the community that does these type of things, but at the same time, it may be small, but you don't want to be an example, bruh. And it could be you doing just the smallest things, man. Leave a light on. Leave a light on in your house. Just stuff like that, just stuff like that. You got to do. You got to do. And this started leading me into another thing. And this is some toxic women, man. Since it's Friday, we gonna have a little bit of fun with you. Man. Y'all got to know these signs, my brother. Y'all got to know these signs of these toxic women. And I'm gonna tell you one of them, man. A pretty face. You got to watch out for these women with these pretty faces, man. And there's nothing wrong with a pretty face. Everyone loves a pretty face and a nice looking woman with a good body. But at the same time, you got to watch them, my people. Because with that one comes a voice, a soft voice, a voice that sounds like a damsel in distress. A voice that's gonna come around sounding like she needs you to help her to do something. See it all the time. These are some of the traits you got to watch out for. We talking about a woman with a nice body, a pretty face. She speak a way that make it seem like she into you. She gonna have a nice, sweet voice that make you wanna. She gonna have a nice, sweet voice that make you wanna pay attention to her. She might touch you when she speak. She might start touching you when you speak, making you feel sexy. These are some of the things you gotta look out for. Now, there are some women that's just naturally seductive like that. But when it's coming too fast and you ain't put in no work, these are some of the things you got to look out for. Another sign, a woman who tell you too goddamn much, too goddamn early, man. Too much, too early, you know? They done told you their life story. Done told you, and you only done had like 2-3 conversations with them, son. You know? I know I'm a guy who you can have a great conversation with. Some people say I'm a great conversationalist. But come on, sometimes it's too much, too soon. Another thing is when they give you way too much personal information, way too soon. These are some of the things you got to watch out for, man. Because I'll tell you, these are going to be the things that get you in trouble. These are going to be the things that get you in trouble. Then they start trying to bring that sex in the picture. Very early, they start, hinting at it. They'll send you those thirst trap pictures, not the ones where it's dirty, It's just something that just show a little bit too much. And you're like, okay, I see what the hell's going on here, Because sometimes they know what can get to a man, and that's sex. But you know what, my people? Sometimes you got to flip the script, bro. You know what I mean? You got to flip the script and change the currency. Flip the script and change the currency, man. And you know how you do that? You don't value what the world value. And when you turn on the television, the world gonna give you sex. It's gonna feed you the materialistic world. But you stay grounded, my people. You stay grounded. And you know what you got to do? You got to focus on the things that really matter. Character traits. And I know you can't see no character trait when people walking down the street, but there are some telltale signs you can look at, And of course, this ain't for everybody because everybody is different. But you got someone wearing small clothes, putting out what they think is gonna get them attention. Their breastises, their big old booty by not covering it. These are some of the things you can look at. Some of the things you can look at. Now, another thing you can look at is a woman who does have all of these things, yet she keeps them covered. She keeps them covered. You can still see the pretty face. You can still see the nice body, but she's covered up. She's carrying herself with some respect. She has a certain conversation that, of course, sex may enter the picture, but you can see they got something to say, man. And in my lifetime, I'm a 45-year-old man. And there's no reason why no pissy tail, little 21-year-old girl who thinks she cute could turn her eye out, could turn her nose up to somebody that done put in work and affected lives in this world. That's what really matters, son. So, little pissy tail girl can't do nothing for me. She ain't have enough wins. She ain't stack up enough losses. She ain't have enough life experiences to put their nose up against nobody who done put in work in this world. So that's what I'm talking about, switching the currency. You got to switch the currency and take it away from these people. Think about it, bruh. You got some 22, pissy tail ass girl getting onto a yacht that it took you 30 years to buy, son. I went to work for 10, 15 years, been putting it down, and went to school, did all this just so you can have a little girl on your arm, son. That's wasting your money, if you ask me. I'd rather go to the Taste of Honey. You understand what I'm saying? I go to the Taste of Honey with $100, and I'll be all right. You feel me? But that's the point, son. We got to switch it. We got to change this materialistic world around, man. And that's why people be going for this fast cash. Like, they think money is a shortcut to happiness. But money ain't no shortcut to happiness, my people. The only true happiness is when you find out what gives you pings in this world. You find out what gives you pings to this world and what makes you a unique person. That following behind this American dream stuff, man, is going to get you in trouble, my brother. It's definitely going to get y'all in trouble. You feel me? Taste the Honey. Big Mont said to Taste the Honey. He already know what it was at the Taste the Honey. Taste the Honey, $100, you can have you five girls, you know what I mean? But you gonna waste, you gonna buy, come on, man. Cut it out. Just cut it out. But I'm up out here, man. Thank you guys for listening. This is The Outlier, your boy B. I'm coming back on again. We're gonna have that tree lighting event out there in Uniondale. If that is your thing, it's gonna be some senators out there, gonna be a pastor out there. It's gonna be very, very, very fun, my people. So y'all come back in like a couple hours and we're gonna be over there at the tree lighting event. And thank you cats for watching. Peace out, my people.